Hi. So yesterday I made a video to remind you, and I'm going to do it again in this one, that what you're doing is important, and what you do as a musician is important, and by extension as woodwind doublers, because that's your contribution. And indeed, all the arts are important. And to underscore that point, I mentioned that governments, particularly authoritarian ones, tyrannical authoritarian ones, want to control the narrative. They want to control the arts because they understand how powerful they are. And they also want to make sure that those who do not share their views or share their agenda or support their agenda, that they're just gone because they understand the power of those uh, voices of resistance, if you will. Um, I just wanted to tell one anecdote. In August of 1967, after having been granted a sabbatical from his school, my father was a math teacher. He and my mother decided, while they were young, to take that year and go to Greece. We're a Greek American family, and my father and mother thought it'd be nice to reconnect with family, go and do some sightseeing and revisit our roots. And I was about to turn 3, and my brother was 7, so it'd be great for us. Of course, we would end up going to school over there for that year. For me, it was a matter of just I was learning to speak, period. So I'd pick up the language. My brother, of course, continued his studies at an American school. In any case, I thought this was a great idea, so off we went. And a few months earlier, however, the king of Greece, King Constantine, had been deposed, and by the time we got there, a military junta was in power and running the country. Some people say junta, however you want to say it, it's fine by me. I don't really know. To tell you the truth, I grew up saying junta, so I'm going to keep saying junta. And now I'm going to backtrack from there about 3 years earlier. I'm not sure. I should look this up, but there was a movie based on a Kazantzakis novel called Zorba the Greek. It was a big hit, and the music was scored by the popular Greek composer Mikis Theodorakis. And in this movie was something called Zorba's Dance, which you've all heard, even if you've never heard his name, Theodorakis' name, or seen the movie, or even known that that's what this piece of music is called, because it's still used for anything Greek related, especially where tourism is concerned. It was a huge international hit, so everybody knew it. And when tourists came, however, because Theodorakis and this military junta run government butted heads, I think Theodorakis was a communist and opposed them. And because Theodorakis was so famous and his voice was carried so much weight, his music was banned. Simple. So, as I was about to say, when tourists came and requested Zorba the Greek, or I think it was the official title is Zorba's Dance, the bouzouki players just went, "You don't know." That's how we say no in Greece, like that. But they'd shrug and say, "I'm sorry, we don't know this song." What is Zorba? What? Yeah, and because if the junta had their way, no, not only would Theodorakis be gone, but he would just never have existed in the first place. And just to show you, even as a little kid, why I think I love music so much. I loved playing records even before I could read or speak very well. The record player was a big part of my life, and so we had one in Greece, and there was always music in my house. And my dad went and got some records, and one of them was here's one of them. It's called Viva Bouzouki, which was instrumental versions of popular hits of the day. And you'll notice that 3 of them, you see 6 lines here that are highlighted, but that's not highlights, and it's not 6 songs. It's 3. One inside is in Greek, and one is transliterated with some English letters. Uh, that's glue from the strips that were pasted over those songs, which were by, you guessed it, Theodorakis. His music was simply taken off of this collection and replaced with 3 other songs. Now, here's an interesting wrinkle. I never stopped collecting records, and there's hardly a thrift shop I'll ever pass by. And my first summer in Williamsburg, Virginia, on my first real job working at Busch Gardens, I found a thrift shop, and I went in and I found an EP. Now that means something different today, but to me, in my people around my age, an EP is a 45 RPM record with 3 or 4 tracks on it. It's a format that didn't really take off much in the United States, but it was very popular in Europe. And I found an EP on this very same record label, and it had the missing songs, the songs that had been taken off of here. And here's another wild thing. I found another copy of this record, which my dad bought in Greece. And I don't have it with me because I'm at my mom's place. But I found a copy of this record featuring a well-known singer. The name was Kitty Pandelaki. And big hits. But the copy I found in Virginia had 3 or 4 songs on it that were not on this record, and they were by, you guessed it, Theodorakis. And a couple of tracks that are on here were missing from that copy. So, as far as Decca Records, this Decca Records release was concerned, Theodorakis never was a part of this. His music had nothing to do with this, and he didn't exist. Yeah. Older Greeks of a certain age who lived from Astoria, Queens, have memories of Theodorakis walking around there smoking a big cigar and just taking part in daily life with what was then very much it's still a pretty cosmopolitan place, but it was predominantly Greek. So taking part in just his life in the diaspora. And of course, he's long gone, but his name lives on and is immortal. It's very much part of the Greek pantheon of classic popular composers. Do we remember the names of those people who were in power then? No. Of course, I wouldn't have known because I was 3 and I didn't care. But you see, the point is, what you do, you'll probably inevitably contribute. You could, if you had a Theodorakis in your life, or you have composers in your life, they need you. They need you to help perpetuate, to fulfill their visions. You may have visions of your own. I hope you do. So, whatever it is, just know that it matters. And I'm starting to ramble because, once again, I'm doing this way too late at night. And so I'm going to go to bed, and I'll see you in the next one.